underrated movies. I'm your guy. I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. And today I'd like to talk to you about another film that I think is severely underrated. And I think it gets overshadowed a lot with this filmmaker's work, Denis Villeneuve. Today I'm going to talk about Sicario, starring Emily Blunt, Benicio del Toro, and Josh Brolin. And the story revolves around an FBI agent given an opportunity to join a operation to track down the Mexican cartel along the Mexican border from Texas to Mexico. But unknown, she is merely a pawn for something very, very sinister from the operation. For some reason, I was excited about this after seeing Denis Villeneuve's Prisoners, his English language film debut, Prisoners. I was sold on this film when I heard it was entered into the Cannes Film Festival. And I think this is the one film that actually made me a fan of Emily Blunt. And Benicio del Toro. More Benicio del Toro. I mean, it's kind of weird when you watch a film of a genre that you like and the actors who are actors but not a fan of, but they act their asses off in this in a certain genre of film that you like. They just like, they might be my favorite. I wish they do more of that. This film, to me, is Denis Villeneuve's best work. His best film. And I think, to me, the reason why, because he did the one thing he kind of did in Blade Runner 2049, where I felt like he tricks the audience into thinking who the main protagonist really is. But it's actually not. You're following somebody else's perspective of what the story really is, but it's actually not. And I like that revealed at the end. This is also one of the... Well, I'm not an expert in weapons and all that, or how some of the procedures are done in the film. But I can tell you this is one of the most intense and scariest action films that I've ever seen. And that's weird saying it from an action film. Because there are sequences in here I was like on the edge of my seat gripped. I remember seeing it in theaters and I saw it twice. And almost had the same effect that I did when I watched it the first time. There's a sequence in the film where they're driving close to the border. They go into Mexico and they go back out to pick up a member who was attached to who worked for the main bad guy in the film. You don't see the bad guy until the very end. So the movie, you're on a journey of following this character, Emily Blunt's character, through the journeys. You kind of just witness her journeys through the film to kind of her just question her morality of how she used to do things as an FBI agent, because she has her own certain code or certain way to uphold the law. But when she gets invited to join in on this, actually she volunteers for the mission to help bring down the cartels. She realized her rules of how to do things with the law doesn't really apply, and you gotta kind of do things. You kind of have to break the rules a bit. But in the sequence where they have to pick up that prisoner and transport him through this freeway, and they get stuck in traffic, and realizing that there are also potential police who could be the bad guys. They could be just anybody just pulling up to them that could be the bad guys, and they get stuck in traffic. And when they find out who's following them, they corner those guys, and they just, dude, it was the tit as hell. And the music, rest in peace, the composer. May he rest in peace. This film is intense. And I like how Denis Villeneuve like tells the story a bit where it's through the perspectives of the characters. So when you watch it, it's like a mystery film. The more you kind of go along with the film and the more information you're given, the more like little hints and certain things are revealed along the way. And I love that storytelling. Similar to Burning. Because you don't know what's really going on at the beginning. You're kind of fed information of where to kind of kick off. But along the journey as you go along, you're given something that you're not really sure about. And the more you're given it, you kind of don't want to know what it is. But once it reveals to you what it actually is, it's like a big shocker. And that's what I got with this film. And I love that the action didn't really... I guess that the film didn't rely on action. It relied on story, intention. I like that the film was gritty. It was just violent. It just made you just want to just... it made you kind of claustrophobic, and you just feel disgusted watching it. Benicio del Toro, one of the most badass actors, played one of the most badass characters, one of the most badass characters in the film ever. This guy is a mystery. Alejandro. This guy has his own agenda. You don't know what it is until the very end. And let it be known, really, this guy has an intention along this mission. And you do not know what it is, but he has a plan. And the movie keeps kind of questioning you when Emily Blunt and Josh Brolin kind of just, like, they start kind of clashing heads on how to do certain things with when it comes with the law. Josh Brolin, he plays this military operative who's been through the world. He kind of sees, he knows how to kind of adapt to it, but he's more laid back about it. And Emily Blunt plays this fish out of water scenario where it's kind of like, I guess you're kind of like trying to pick whose side that you're really trying to really root for, and how to deal with this situation on the war on drugs. And I was actually thinking, because the film switches it changes your perspectives, especially in the third act. It makes you kind of rethink certain things about the film and about the character that you're actually focusing on. Who do you really believe? The movie really questions your morality. There's also a side story that plays along in the film that shows up every now and then, and when it kind of reveals to you more about that story, it kind of has a deeper message to it. And it's like another big twist, another big shocker into it. I was like, wow. Because you want to know where that part of the story was going, and when it revealed to you what that part of that story, and how that story is connecting to the main one, it's like, wow. I love it. It was a very experimental and risky thing to do, and I love it about this film. This film was great, man. Like, it's one of the greatest action thrillers I've ever seen. Like, it's intense, it's thrilling, it's scary, and that's what I like. The action sequences are actually scary, which in real life, if you're in a situation like that, I can only imagine it being scared, being fearful, and that's how you're supposed to feel. And I got that with this film. All the other films, and you watch action films, you want to be excited and all that. No, this shit is scary when you're in that. It's scary. It's terrifying. And that's what I got, and it's shocking. That's what I got with this film. You feel that intensity. You feel that fear. You feel it through Emily Blunt's perspective. It's like a oh shit moment. And that's what I loved about this film. Sicario, man, is underrated, and it doesn't get talked about enough. There's a sequel. I did see the sequel, and I'll review that one too. I'll talk about that in another video. Let me know in the comment section below if you've seen it. If you like Sicario, let me know. What is your favorite underrated movie?